Hi, welcome. Today I wanted to talk a bit about the power of our names. I think that too many of us that don't recognize how important our names really are. I mean, it's like a label that we carry with us every single day of our lives. From the moment we were given that particular name, we respond to it via people calling us in the street, in a home, even by the written letter, bills, and so on. And I think that what we really need to do is to find out the meaning of the name that you carry. For example, my name is Diana, and Diana is a name given to the goddess of the moon. And so, in reality, whatever energies that she's deemed to have possessed, then me having that name, I should really be able to tap into those powers as well. Unfortunately, that is not so, but because of various blocks and so on that's been deliberately put into our lives. But at the same time, if you feel, for example, I think on a day I'm feeling so low, so down, and what's the point of anything? And then I focus on my name and I think, wait a minute, this is the name of a goddess. She possessed some kind of powers. What am I doing feeling sorry for myself? Let me at least start to feel a little bit powerful. And so with any particular name. And otherwise, we're missing out on so much. And I also wanted to touch on when we're born, when we have we're born, we're given a name or surname, and then when women marry, most women they immediately get rid of their birth name and all the powers and energy and meanings that was linked to that family surname, and they take on that of their partner. And so, with the stroke of a pen, when they sign their name, their new name, their older name, the one that they were born with, is just chopped off immediately, completely. And that is severing like a part of yourself. I think the best way would be to keep your own name and hyphenate it with that of your partner rather than get rid of that part of you, because that's a family surname and that's been passed down through the ages. So it has a lot of energy and a lot of power. So I might have to make this in more than one part because there is a lot to this. So first of all, I mean, I'd like to talk about the numerology of the name, what the letters actually mean. But the first step would be to look at the meaning of your name, no matter what it is. And that goes for any middle names that you have, and also any and your surname. And if you were a person who were married and you just got rid of your birth name, it is still a part of you, but because you don't use it anymore, it sort of almost like goes to sleep, goes into a coma. So it would be good to look at that and revitalize it, link into what it actually really means. And this would go a long way in um, empowering us because we were born with that particular name that's attached to us. And it's almost like a name's almost like kind of outside the body DNA because it is such a powerful thing. Without it, what do we call ourselves? So, hang on just a minute. Sorry, I'm sitting right opposite the window. Sorry, the window, the door, and I fox just walked right up to the door. We have a lot of those around here, but it is quite what 9:17 a.m. and that is early because they're usually like nocturnal. But anyway, not to get that um, not to digress. So our names is like a powerful piece of software, and if you think of a computer, so it's this is just a short reminder to be be mindful of your name and what it means, and link with that particular energy and that particular power. It would make you feel so much better. It would empower you. And I'm going to do another video on what the actual letters of the name means. So we've got all this information around the name. So we've got the name, the meaning of the name, and then we have the individual letters of your name, right? And then we have the numbers relating to the letters of your name in numerology. So it's a full package. So this is just like a little bite-sized bit of information. It's just to say to, especially in these times now when things are just so hard economically, socially, every which way, and we need something to hold on to. And what is more personal than our name and date of birth? But the thing is, with our name, we, even though our birthday is fixed and unchanging, we're not called that in everyday life. Our names, we are called by our names every day. So if you're in a crowd and somebody says, "Hi, Diana," all Dianas are going to look around, right? Because you recognize that is your name. So it's a powerful mantra, your name, and it's called so many times throughout the day, the year, the month. And so it as I said, it's like an outside DNA almost, and it triggers something within the chemical makeup of the brain when somebody called us, and those letters and the meanings are activated. But unfortunately, too many of us don't recognize this and don't realize this. So with that, I'll make this short and fall in love with your name. Write it out in various like colors, so you can have pen, pencil, different like colors, color pens, paint it even, just to start to activate the energies, because uh, we should really write our names down every single day. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 100 times, whatever you feel up to, because in doing so, it activates some kind of energy attached to the letters of your name and the actual meaning of the name. And so many of us would go days or even maybe long without writing our names down because it hasn't occurred to us to do this and the importance of it. And sometimes the only time we actually write our names for like a long time is if we're signing our names to some document or other. So as I said, be aware of the importance of your name, fall in love with it to activate the power. And even though you may or may not know, for example, the meaning or the power behind each individual letter, just by focusing on it, that would start to wake them up because they're more or less asleep right now. Okay, so with that, I'll just say, thank you for listening. It's nice and short, but I'll get back to you in the next one to explain even further. All right, take care.